No more Glenn. No more Glenn. I meant to take the thing that drops down that says with Glenn because it's not here today. I'm on my own. You've got me all on my own. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're from. Thank you for joining me on yet another live stream. I'm on my own, so I can't chat too much nonsense with Glenn because he's got a social life apparently. So it's just me. So I'm going to say hi to everyone in the chat, and then I think we might kick off the topic pretty much straight away, I think. So in the chat, I'm going backwards on this because I've lost track of all of you in here. So we've got Gone Hollow Media. How are you doing, Gone Hollow? What's up? We've got Big Jace, who says no more Glenn. Not tonight. He may pop in later. I've sent him the link, so if he's available, he may pop in, but I can't promise that. We've got Real Sketchman. Good evening. We've got Sam Meows a lot. Good evening to you as well. Hello, Phil, and everyone. We've got Cranston Knight with us. Hey up, Phil. Phil, no Glenn. That's right. We've got Jim Bobs, 71. Evening, Phil. Hope you're well. I'm not too bad, thank you. I hope you all too. We've got Brian Smith. Hey, Phil. Hope things are well. All good here, I think. We've got Grateful Black with us as well. Good evening. We've got Anthony Lipiello. Good afternoon, Phil. Good afternoon to you too, sir. We've got Ethan Schneider. Hey. We've got AJ Pink. Hey, Phil. Hey, AJ. Got Darren G. We've got Jeremy Carr here. I'm just trying to find a good comment here for you, Jeremy. I've got Martin's Movie Cupboard with us. Good evening, guys. We've got... Where are you, Jeremy? Where are you? We've got Jeremy Carr. Random comment. Sorry, I just had to throw one up just to show that you're here. We've had a few AJs with us as well, I think. AJ Pink. Glenn did pop in earlier on the chat, but yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to kick us straight into it. Remove Jeremy's comment from there as well. We've got Slipknot fan with us as well. Just want to say hey to Slipknot fan. And yeah, here we go. Topic of the week. We're straight into it. You need my picture on there as well, don't you? So, topic of the week. I kind of, sell your collection. It's kind of been a thing that's been on my mind a little bit. As you know, I've been clearing out some of my collection. So it's why I come to that decision, why I came to the decision of clearing out my collection and how I decided on clearing out the collection. First things first, though, do any of you guys sell any of your collection, or is your collection the whole thing? You've got to keep everything or not? So the biggest thing is keep it or sell it. When and why is a good time to sell your physical media collection? Well, as you know, you've all seen the pictures. I've been rambling on about it for weeks. I've been doing room refurbishment, and it's been quite a big one on there as well. And doing this room, it cost a lot of money to do the room. We took it back to bare brick. Everything needed doing: new doors, new windows, new electrics, new walls, ceiling, lighting, you name it. Everything went into that room. So obviously doing that much on a project like that, it costs a lot of money. And I wanted to put some nice things in there. As we do, as collectors, we want some of the best presentation for our favorite movies. We've got the 4K players, we've got the 4K discs, and we want to present our films well. And looking at what I wanted, I'm not going to lie, the budget was looking kind of ridiculous. And how do you pull money from nowhere? And you sort of I was looking through my collection, and we all do. We've all got these big collections, and we'll look through them and say, hey, look what I've got here. It's worth this much money. Or I've got this is rare ash print and it's worth this much money. And I was looking at some of my collection, and I thought, you know what? I'm showing off that I've got certain editions of movies that are worth a lot of money. And I sat and considered, and I thought, really, how much do I watch these things? And hands up, I've got to be honest, some of these movies, particularly the releases of boutique, limited edition things, or Arrow releases in general, I don't particularly watch them all the time. I maybe watch them once, but looking through them, do I go back to them? And the consideration is, I've been shown off that these are worth so much money, and I've got it, and it's rare, and it's out of print, and you've not got it, but I have. I'm the bigger collector. And I thought, yeah, I might be the bigger collector or have something that you guys haven't, but at the end of the day, am I going to watch it? And it's this that's sort of on my mind. Am I going to watch the movie? I'm saying that it's worth so much, and I'm keeping hold of it, but why am I keeping hold of it if I'm not going to watch it? So the decision was made to go through my collection and see what films I was making use of, what I wanted to watch, what I wanted to keep in the collection, and what was important to me. And I skimmed through the collection, I took a bunch out, and I started to sell them. And I'll tell you what, selling part of those collections, I've not particularly missed anything that's gone, but it's allowed me to put that budget into this room that I'm doing. It's allowed me to buy more equipment and things like that. So even though a lot of people are seeing me as selling a lot of my collection, it's stuff that I wasn't really using. It's stuff that I've released money from to put into this new room. Cheers. I consider, is it worth always keeping hold of everything and anything? What do you guys think? Do you think it's worth keeping hold of it just to keep it in your collection? Or is your collection something you would potentially break down, separate out, and release money from? For example, say if there's a Nightmare on Elm Street Steelbook collection box set that you wanted that's quite expensive, £200, or was it $200 or more? You can't afford it. Would you wait on that? Would you miss out? Or would you consider selling part of your collection to be able to afford the next thing? Curate your collection down and get the thing that you want in that moment? Or is it just a case of waiting or missing out or coming around to it again? I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. Before I carry on rambling about selling the collection, I'm going to jump back to comments. I want to try and be a bit quicker on the comments tonight as we'll go through the topic as well. So we've got with us as well Slot Professor. Hey, Slot Professor. We've got Kill Chill as well. Good day, dear boy. You're all on your tab. Let's do this. We're trying. Nepang Films is with us as well. Good evening. Ethan Schneider. I sell things I don't rewatch. That's something that I need to get into the habit of. I had a tendency to buy things, watch them, and put them on the shelf, regardless of my feelings on the film. They would go into the collection. It would become part of the big collection, and they'd be forgotten about and not touched again. And I think the smart thing is to sell the things that you don't rewatch and use that money to buy something different to watch, or use that money wisely. Sell it while it's worth a bit more money. AJ Pink. Once a month, I'll curate the collection. New watches, rewatches throughout the month inform my decision. That's quite often, AJ. I don't think I'd get to do it once a month. I think I'm too lazy and too slow. I'm not getting a chance to watch as many as I want to now. But I think it's probably a bit too often for me. I think once every 6 months, I'll probably curate the collection. But I do need to consider more what I would watch or what I would rewatch. Because there's still a bunch of my collection that I've got here that I've got no urge to go back to. I don't know whether to go back to them or not. They just sit here as part of the collection, and I need to consider more. Will I go back to it? Will I want to watch this with someone else somewhere down the line? Is there anything special about the move that I want to do? Jeremy Carr. Always sell some stuff after time, not everything, but stuff that doesn't fit the collection per se. Yeah, I think we've all got titles like that in our collection as well that doesn't quite fit and that we're not going to go back to. So is it worth keeping that stuff all the time? Not always, I don't think. AJ Pink. Sometimes I don't get rid of anything. Not getting rid of anything. There was nothing that was leaving apart from there's a couple of movies that I had a really bad hatred towards that I did get rid of straight away, but generally everything just got kept. I would keep absolutely everything, and I think it's showed in some of them, in some of the videos that I've done where I've been clearing out the collection. You've seen some of the stuff that I've been hoarding and holding on to. I've got a box here of things that I'm putting on eBay at the moment, and let's just grab a chunk. Let me grab a chunk. There's things like Space Hunter, Adventure in the Forbidden Zone. Now this one, I remember, I bought it because I remember enjoying it as a kid. I caught it on TV. I thought it was quite fun. And yeah, it came out on Blu-ray. So of course, I enjoyed it as a kid. I've got to pick it up. I'm not particularly interested in going back and rewatching it. It was a nostalgia pickup for pretty much no reason at all. Would you watch this film again? I mean, when's it from? I can't remember when it's from. I know it starred Molly Ringwald, but from what I remember, I did enjoy it, but I know this was terrible. I don't know why I picked it up. And then nostalgia probably swung the way, but as a 48-year-old, I'm not likely to ever want to go back to this. So it doesn't particularly need to be in the collection. So that's on eBay. It's listed at the moment to sell. And a similar thing could be said. Tom Selleck, Runaway. It was cheap. It was in the sale. I picked it up, I shelved it, and it sat there, still sealed. And I think about rewatching it, and there's a million other movies I'd rather watch instead. And it tells me that I don't need to keep this sort of thing in the collection. I think it's potentially streaming somewhere. If not, it should be the way I watched it. It shouldn't be a sit down, enjoy it on Blu-ray and check out the commentary with film critic Kevin Lyons. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. There's a whole bunch of titles like that. I might show you a few more of these in a bit, but they're literally things that were collected because they were cheap and I had some memory of it and I felt like I needed to put it into the collection. And when you think I've put it in the collection, but it's not one I'm enthused to actually go back and watch, why did I collect in the first instance? I'm not sure. Big Jace says, you can put Glenn's mustard chair in that room, Phil. I could have done. I might have to. I don't think I could force Glenn to give me his yellow chair, though. But I am looking at a chair for that room. A mini reading corner. Grant Knight, if I know it's never getting taken off the shelf again, it's going to someone who hopefully will. And that's why I like to try and sell on eBay or somewhere like that, as opposed to anything else, because I think that if they sell on eBay, it would go to someone that would appreciate the movie or that did actually want to see the movie, which is an odd way of thinking about it. But I don't want my collection that I'm selling to be wasted, even though I've wasted it myself because it's not been watched. I want it to go to someone that cares about it. Is that crazy? Does that make sense? No. Big Jace, I plan to watch some over the holidays. Me too, Big Jace. I've got a whole pile of things that are growing that I want to work my way back through. All the rewatching, upgrading the TV, getting a new player. It's sort of reignited my desire to go back to certain movies. And it's very telling when you've got a big collection how important some of it is and how unimportant some of it isn't, because I'm selecting certain movies off and there's ones that aren't getting the time of day, and I think, is it worth keeping those? I'm enthused about watching all of these movies, so why am I keeping these over here where I'm thinking about rewatches, yet they're not being touched? I'm not sure if that's coming across right, but yeah, it gives me food for thought with things like that. Upgrade your equipment and see what movies you want to rewatch, which ones you want to drag back off the shelf. Is very, very telling. Slot Professor. The only difference is I have one version of each movie. Unless a better one comes out, I won't get rid of the other. Same. Gone Hollow Media. Last time I sold any movies, it was a bunch of Blu-rays I've upgraded to 4K and just sold like 7 for £10 to someone on Facebook Marketplace. They lose the value massively, and this is something as a collector, it really stings. When you're looking at clearing things out, you remember what you paid for the items. So if you've got a 4K that you paid $25 for, and suddenly you go to either try and sell or trade in, and no one's interested in anything above $5 all of a sudden. And you think, you know what, if I'm only getting $5 back, I might as well keep it. And I've done that several times, and it's just caused such a pile up and such a overspill of movies that I don't know where to place. But I don't want to let them go for such a pittance. And it's silly because I've put a monetary value on these things that are pretty much worthless to me, yet if I can't sell them for a certain amount, then I don't want to get rid of. It's kind of counterintuitive and doesn't work very well in my mind. I need to clear that out, because if it's worthless for me, it's just taking up space in my living area. It's cluttering up my mind, cluttering up my space, and it's the thing that I need to get rid of. Because I find that myself since I've sold quite a number of titles, freeing up space and having room to reorganize and move things around, it's helped clear up my head a little bit as well. I don't feel as stressed in my relaxation space, if that makes sense. It's very hard to explain how refreshing it feels when I have cleared a chunk out and made that space on the shelves as well. Anthony, I know that is never easy, but in the end, it turns out. Getting rid of things, yeah, it isn't an easy job for a collector, because we place certain values on these things, and it becomes very difficult to remove them when you can, in a way, see a use for them. It's very much, I've used the term before on videos and things like that. It's very much like a hoarder mentality. If you can see a use for them for someone, not necessarily for yourself, but for someone you see a use, you kind of think, I'm going to keep hold of that because it might be of use to someone someday. And you end up keeping things for no real reason beyond that. And it's a bad way to, I was going to say hoard, it's a bad way to collect, it's a bad way to keep things, because it's taking up your space, it's taking up space in your house, it's taking up space in your head. And the best thing is to try and clear these things out and lose that sort of mentality of, it might have use for someone else, or it might have use in the future. If it isn't for you right now, then I'd say you kind of need to consider moving it on. Jeremy Carr, I do call from time to time when I congress the physical, regular purchases aside. If I sell 5 to 6 DVD, I'll buy a Blu-ray, or sell 3 Blu-ray and buy 1 4K. Yet to have more out, than take in. That's what I would like to try and do. And the rate I've been selling things, I've been succeeding the past few months. But whether that continues, I'm not sure. Not sure. I've got the thing of upgrading my collection. I've got that thing in my head. It's called the Diderot effect. I know I've talked about it before, but it's when you buy something new, you have to have that thing to go with it. So say you got a new pair of jeans, you'd have to have a nice new belt to go with it, or you got a new something else, 4K player, you have to have 4K discs to go with it. And I've got this upgrade of having the 4K player, and suddenly I'm wanting more and more discs. So a few more orders have been going in because it's combined with sales time. It's combined with Black Friday. It's combined with Cyber Monday, and it's all sort of gathered. And yeah, I've ordered a few more things than I normally would, to be fair. Brian Smith, I've been retired 6 months and I still don't get time to watch too many movies. And that's my worry as well. I joke that having a big collection, they're going to be here when I retire. Yeah, when I retire, I'm going to have all this time to watch all these movies. I'm safeguarding my entertainment for the future in case everything goes to streaming. And reality is that I think we'd find other things to do. I don't think we'd actually get to as many as we think we will. We don't need collections in the number of thousands when we're going to retire, because there's still all the new things coming out. I mean, do you only watch new movies that are coming out? Do you only watch classics? They're all there. They're all streaming. The access to these movies is still going to be viable in the future. It might not be all physical, but you still have access to new movies, and you still don't need to keep numbers in the thousands to keep you entertained. Even if you watched one a day for a year, that's still only a collection of like what 300 odd discs, 300 odd movies to last you a full year. And there's not many people that manage to get in a movie a day. Prove me wrong in the comments if you do manage a movie a day. But yeah, I struggle one a week sometimes now. Napang Films. I go a bit mad and do giveaways, so don't sell any of mine, but it does cut down my collection. In fact, Napang Films, I have a box that I've been intended to do giveaways for, and I will one week. I've got to try and figure it out because I'd love to open up giveaways to everyone viewing. And I know I've got some viewers in America and I don't want to cut them off. But looking at it, the postage costs for posting out to the US is absolutely ridiculous. And the things I've got to give away, they're just not worth it. They're just not worth enough to pay the postage to get to someone. So I'm having a bit of a rethink on that. But yeah, I've got a bunch right here behind me that I potentially will give away in some way or form. Big Jace, the wife will retire before me. Then I won't get use of the TV. I'm sure she should be watching all her stuff while you're at work then, Big Jace. Give you time to watch when you get home. Jeremy Carr, constantly curate. Make that money, honey. I have been, Jeremy. I've done pretty well. This week, in fact, I forgot to bring my receipt up with me. I took a bunch of Blu-ray into CX and it mounted up to a good amount. It bought me the Apple TV 4K box. So I sold up CEX, all these Blu-ray, and used that money to buy a pre-owned Apple TV 4K box for that room and came away with some credits as well. So I've still got 50 quid's worth of credit to spend at CEX, and that's after buying the Apple TV 4K box and the Lord of the Rings trilogy on 4K. And I did get rid of quite a number. I think it was 50 odd discs, but I've come away with something that is of use to me now. These discs weren't of any use to me anymore. I wasn't interested in watching them. I wasn't interested in going back to some of them. So there were the things that I went bothered if I lost from the collection or not. They can be replaced, probably at a premium, but yeah, I use that money for something I want now rather than something that I think I may want in the future. Gone Hollow Media. One movie watched a week is a good week for me. Usually I can watch a good few episodes of TV though. I've worked through more than one this week for a change, but yeah, one a week's normally good for me as well. It's normally TV rubbish when I get home in the evening from work, but this week has been different because the run up to Christmas and the kids, we've been Christmas movied all up. Good evening to Jerry Cheer, who's just joined us. Good evening, Jerry. Jim McCarr, I sell lesser quality figures to buy more expensive ones that I want more. And that's the reason that a lot of these movies have been going. I mean, I showed you two there. I mean, two more examples I've got that are ready to sell or ready to list. Eli Roth's Green Inferno. I've watched it. It wasn't that great. Eli Roth's Knock Knock. Again, I've watched it. It wasn't that great. I've got no real temptation to go back to it. Knock Knock is one I know I've seen it knocking about quite a bit recently because I want to say Kino Lorber released it again, so there was a revived interest. But you know, putting it out on a boutique label still doesn't make up for the fact that it wasn't really a very good movie. It might have had a couple of girls in wet clothing for parts of it, but does not make a good movie. I'm not interested in going back to rewatch it, so why keep it? I know why I was keeping it. I was keeping both of those because I like Eli Roth. I think he's a cool dude. He's an interesting character. He knows a lot about horror. He did the History of Horror TV show that was really interesting. And I kind of not fight for him, but I like listening to the guy. I find him interesting to listen to. He's not a very good movie maker, I don't think. But because I was a fan of him, I was collecting his movies, even though I didn't have the interest in going back and rewatching them. I was still collecting the movies and holding them on the shelves and for me now, that's not a good way to collect. I want to hold movies that I am going to rewatch. I do want to go back to, and unfortunately for Eli Roth movies, 1 or 2 I may go back to. The rest, nope. Gun Hollow Media. 2 weeks off for Christmas will be my time to finally watch some movies. I hope to do the same. I've not got 2 weeks off, but I'm hoping the time I have will open up the possibility of watching a good few movies, hopefully. Anthony Lipiello. I know that's not easy. It's very painful, but in the end it turned out well for you, right? No pain, no gain. Yeah, it's definitely turned out well, Anthony. It's the addiction to collecting is a very real thing. And I have it. I still have it. I still try and deal with it. There's things I pick up that I probably shouldn't. And it leads to the hoarding aspect of it. And yeah, when you put certain links to things with how you collect them, it is difficult letting go. And you do go to and fro. There's things that have been off my shelf and back on my shelf and off again. And I've really wrestled with whether to get rid of something or not. But as much as goes off in my head with it, as soon as the thing has gone, it's like a weight has been lifted. I don't know how else to explain it. I need to think it out and script something out for a video for the addiction aspect to collecting. A lot of people write it off because it's not as destructive as as a addiction to like the alcohol or anything like that. So it doesn't get taken seriously, but it is a very real problem that a lot of people have, and a lot of people don't see it as a problem because it isn't destructive like something like alcohol. I find with this sort of habit, there's a lot of traits that you can liken to this sounds ridiculous, eating disorders. And along with eating disorders, a lot of impulses for collecting, how you collect, the hoarding and things, it goes back to certain childhood traumas. And it all sort of links together in that way. And the collecting aspect is almost like something that I thought I could control. It's that thing that I can control the collecting. I can choose to buy that. I can do this for myself. And you think it's something in you control where other things in your life in the past haven't been in control. So it's your thing that you can think you can control. But that turns into the addiction. That turns into the hoarding. And that's when your problems begin. If you can't look back and face it and realize that that's where your problems can stem from. And it's similar with the eating disorders. Those sort of disorders can be linked to previous traumas, and it is that control aspect that a lot of people struggle with. Cranstonite. I only really buy cheapo stuff anyway, and regularly get rid of bits and pieces to charity shops I'm no longer interested in. It's a good way to do it. I've dumped a load at a charity shop before. I've got a crate here that is going off to charity as well. I tend to, when I'm selling, I separate things down because I have a stack for eBay, or it could possibly be Vinted. I don't tend to use Vinted myself, but yeah, the sort of auction site stack. Then there's a stack for CEX, and then there's a stack that will go to charity. And the differences between them are eBay are the ones that I know are in demand that people will probably buy from eBay. CEX are the ones that would tend to sell a bit slower on eBay, and I just don't want them sat around. And then the charity shop, when they're not worth very much, a couple of quid or something like that, they can go to the charity shop for them to sell on or anything like that, because it's just not worth the time to try and take them in or sell them. Morton's Reviews. I have a few stacks I've pulled out to sell this last week. Let us know how you get on with that, Morton, and what sort of things you're selling. Is there anything that we can buy? Slipknot fan. I think nowadays you should keep everything and just store stuff you don't use in the attic and keep the things you do need in the movie room. I did that, Slipknot fan. Excuse me. I did keep a bunch of DVDs in the attic. And the thing is, I kind of forgot about most of them. And when I dug them out, I sort of rediscovered them. But then I also discovered that they'd been in the attic for months, unthought about, uncared for. It didn't matter if they were there or not. So it highlighted the fact that I needed to get rid of them, and they all went off to the charity shop. All DVDs, but they all went to the charity shop without a second thought, because when they've been up there for months, not thought about it, just didn't seem worth keeping them up there anymore. Jeremy Carr, I sell things I don't rewatch, or not if not feeling it after 2 watches. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Sometimes I've kept hold of things that I've not particularly liked just to give it a second chance, but it's not very often my mind changes on those sort of movies. Big Jace, I almost bought one yesterday from CEX, but the guy who didn't know what he was doing couldn't find the disc. It's that common problem with CX. I come across that no end of times, not being able to find the discs. They need new systems. Jim Bobs. Most of the DVDs I got rid of were things that I don't watch. I don't want to rewatch and not worth so much, so I just donate to charity shops, and then someone else can enjoy. That's what I hope too. I've tried donating to people I work with and friends and things like that, but the problem I'm finding more and more, not as many people seem to have physical media players anymore. There's a couple of people at work that I've offered films to, and neither have even a DVD player. It's crazy to me as a collector that someone doesn't have a player, but it just shows what the general population is like now. They don't care about their physical player. They don't need the physical player because everything is available in some way or another that they want on a streaming service or on their dodgy Fire Sticks, which a lot of people I know seem to use. Ethan Schneider, do you keep movies that you enjoyed and may rewatch again but aren't sure if you will, or if you will, it won't be for a while? Yes, generally I will do. If it's a movie I've seen at the cinema that I've enjoyed and I'm not sure if I'd watch again, I won't pick that up straight away anymore. I would have previously, but something like, I've mentioned it before, Oppenheimer. I really enjoyed that at the cinema. I can't see me wanting to watch that again for a long, long time. So it's not worth me picking up. In the past, I would have just, in a heartbeat, just picked it up anyway. It was a Christopher Nolan movie. I've got to get it on day one of release. But I knew that I wasn't going to go back to it straight away. So, yeah. But it doesn't seem getting rid of it if I think I may rewatch it. Although I am trying to be more careful now. Big Jace says, I keep freezing. Apologies, Big Jace. I can't see any problems my end, but we'll see. Jeremy Carr, not to mention, some stuff hits different when you get older and you might not like it anymore. And the same the other way as well, Jeremy. Some stuff hits different now. One of the prime examples, Carrie. I watched that when I was young. Didn't think much to it, but Arrow released it on Blu-ray a while ago. I rewatched it because I picked it up because, of course, it's Arrow limited edition. You got to pick it up. And it swiftly became one of my favourite movies. I loved it on the second viewing. And I think a lot of that's due to age, being older, more life experience, and it hit different. Cats in Music. Hi there. I've sold movies when there's a 4K upgrade or maybe a nice set available. However, since this can happen anytime, I'm a bit more careful about what I buy in the first place. I'm trying to be more careful as well. I'm with you on board on that, but recently, I've been looking at getting King Kong on 4K, and in the UK, of course, it's out of print. So it's a little bit more expensive, a little bit more pricey, but I'm thinking, shall I try and pick it up? I was looking at importing the US version, but then I thought, it's out on 4K, it's a universal release. Is it likely in 5 years' time there's going to be another anniversary edition of this thing? So I'm trying to be more careful and not dive into it straight away, because things do get re-released. We've just seen Kill Bill, the special editions of those come out from Imprint and Lionsgate overseas, and we've got the whole bloody affair on its way now. You can't sort of predict what will get recycled and in what way they'll be recycled either. So it's, if you're not 100% sure, it's worth just being a little bit hesitant until you know more. Big Jace, I enjoyed Tommy as a kid. As an adult, I couldn't get it in my head around it. I was like, what is this? Brian Smith, oh wow, I remember seeing Space Hunter at the cinema. It's terrible, isn't it? From what I remember. Even though I know I said I enjoyed it, but I know it's a terrible movie. AJ Pink. There's some films that you'll get the itch to watch again. Can always rent digital for cheap. Yes, I've got to keep that in mind more and more. When I'm looking at buying things now, I tend to look where it's streaming, if it is available to rent, if it's available to buy, and I'll do a lot more research before I make the purchase in general, if I'm not 100% sure. Space Hunter, yeah, I saw Space Hunter in the cinema. I thought it was terrible back then. Just going through Big Jace a few times. I just give films away to friends who would appreciate them. I've got no friends that appreciate the DVDs. I've tried giving them to my parents before, and they're not interested. Morton's reviews. I really need to buy a region-free player. You do, Morton. There's a bunch in that Scream Factory order that won't play here. Yeah, Scream Factory, massively region locked. Massively. Gone Hollow Media. To save some time and energy, I think I'm going to get the missus to give me a list of films she wants to watch, and I'll do the same, and we'll commit to watching at least a couple each over the holiday. Good way to do it. And hopefully there's a couple that you both want to watch that you can prioritise. Brian Smith. I do love some of the old 80s movies. I watched Dreamscape this afternoon. I said blasphemy past. Gone Hollow Media. Just ordered some rear speakers for my soundbar setup. So even more of an excuse to get watching some stuff I've not got around to. And it's funny I should say that, Gone Hollow Media, because as I've been selling things for the room, it also gave me the ability to buy surround speakers for my soundbar. And I got an older model surround speakers, but the stuff that I've been selling has just covered that cost. And I'm getting a lot more from my money from selling the collection of things that I won't watch to get something that I will be using every time I watch a movie now. Real Sketchman. The price value issue never bothers me because, yeah, I spent $25 to $30 on it, but I watched a few times. I got my money's worth. Getting some amount back is more than it collecting dust on my shelf. Yeah. Big Jace, I'd rather just leave the ones that are worth 10p rather than keep them and get the pocket change. Yeah, Big Jace, I was having this discussion. I need to revisit my video I did on sleeving titles. You probably remember me putting a bunch of DVD in sleeves in a binder and a bunch of Blu-ray in sleeves in a binder as well. And even though I did that because they weren't worth selling, because no one really wanted them, I've kept them in the box, in the binders, in the sleeves. I've not touched them. Is it worth keeping them knocking around when I'm just not going back to them anyway? It's taking up space again, space in my home, space in my mind. I'm not sure if it's worth sleeving them. Sleeving them means I might as well get rid to me now. Martin's Movie Cupboard. I try and only buy movies that I'll rewatch, but collections get bigger and time gets less and less these days. Yes, absolutely right, sir. It's I'm struggling more and more to find the time to actually sit and watch anything, and it's not aided by the fact I've got young kids, so I have to be careful what I watch. And then if they're hogging the TV or if they need attention the other way, it's time soaking, and I just can't find that time to sit and watch as many films as I used to. Gone Hollow Media, yeah, the devalue of trading stuff or selling for the next to nothing is why I have been kept in my collection, but it would if space became more of an issue. Yeah. Jeremy Carr, this week I'm selling 10 Blu-ray. Next week, hopefully selling some DVDs and CDs. At least of these people show up. At least if those people show up. Yes. Morton's reviews, the stream quality is really bad this time. Apologies. I don't think I've changed anything. I think it must be a StreamYard issue, I think. Morton's reviews. I always selling movies. It never stops. I need to add 20-ish more to eBay. I think I've got 20-ish on eBay at the moment, Morton, and I need to add some more. Gone Hollow. Nightmare on Elm Street box set does need a home somewhere, though. No shelf space for that big boy. It is a massive set. I've noticed the basic edition, the non-steelbook edition, is in the sale on Amazon now. Already. But if you want a steelbook, then you're still paying a premium. Ragnar, I've been collecting for 30 years. I have thousands of Blu-rays and DVDs, and I've watched everyone multiple times. Nice. Morton's reviews. Not a fan of most new movies. I stay around the 80s and 90s. I think that's the best time to stick around, Morton, to be honest. The new movies are doing not much for me either at the moment. I don't know if it's the amount of them or the quality of them on streaming and things like that. I'm not sure. Ragnar, I feel they haven't made a good movie since '99. Anything before then is up for grabs. AJ Pink usually watches 4 a week. It's pretty good going, pretty good. Jeremy Carr, I get a disc a day. Could be a movie, could be bonus features, could be a free episode of a series. Morton's reviews. It takes you over 1 year to watch 300 movies, Phil. No. Yeah, it would, to be honest, at the minute. Definitely. Ragnar. So many YouTubers are so greedy. Not only do they got to have every release, they got to have every version of every release. It's ridiculous. It's for content, Ragnar. That's why they do it. They want the content. If they're not buying the new release and if they're not showing off about a new release or a new pickup, then they've got nothing to talk about. That's what I find anyway. So I think the fact that they buy everything is more for a fact that they need some content. They need something to talk about. And that's the way they do it. And for some YouTubers that show the physical medias, I worry that they're overspending just to try and be able to do content. Slot Professor. The whole Netflix buying Warner Brothers might make it impossible to get any films soon. Between Disney and Netflix now owning a lot, it's going to get real hard to own anything soon. I think it's a wait and see on this. I've seen a lot of people doing videos on the subject, and I think it's far too early day to know anything. I still think at the moment Warner Brothers will be run separately from Netflix. And sorry, I didn't want to go too far into this on this stream, so I won't. But I think Warner Brothers will still work independently from Netflix. I think it's too important. There's too many investors that Warner Brothers have for making their movies that would perhaps have their nose put out of joint if that physical movie aspect was lost to them. They want to carry on with a revenue stream, and if it's hidden behind a paywall on something like Netflix, then they don't get that turnover of cash. They don't get a bigger return on their investment. So I think they would still have to work them separately if they want certain investors to stay involved. Another reason for the deal that I think has happened for Netflix is they want access to the facilities that Warner Brothers have. The Warner Brothers have their studios, setups, all the sound stages. They have the post-production things, and that sort of thing would be very important to Netflix over their streaming rights for certain movies, along with obviously their IPs and brands and things like that. So I think there's going to be a lot more to the deal, and it's far too early to say, but I don't think Netflix can risk losing the investors that Warner Brothers have for their movies. So I think there won't be any major changes for a while, but I think Netflix will make use of their IPs and the brands going forward and perhaps slow things down on that side. But I think the investors will still be very important because Netflix can't afford to make everything on such a scale at the moment, if that made sense. AJ Pink, CX voucher amounts being higher is great for things like that. Indeed it is. Jeremy Carr, to save money on overseas postage from the UK to US or US to UK, let the post office know it's a gift. And if it's media, for example, Blu-ray, CD, book, or both gift and media mail, bring down import and export costs significantly. There we go. Gone Hollow Media, how do you balance hobbies? Reading, gaming, movies, TV, fitness, etc. I struggle. Gone Hollow Media, I really do. If I'm reading, generally it'll be on my way to and from work or while the kids are watching TV or anything like that. Gaming, I very rarely do. I do enjoy gaming, but it's something that I don't get enough time for. Movies are fitting when I can. TV is normally in the evening when I'm falling asleep on the sofa. Fitness, I'll generally fit in at the weekend, but I do need to pull in more. But I also need to carry on making my YouTube videos, and that gets in the way of some of the fitness in the week. But generally, it'll be to gym on Saturday and Sunday, definitely. I'd just like 2 or 3 extra days a week to be able to do more. But it is a struggle. This is why I'm exhausted. This is why I fall to sleep through many shows and many movies on the sofa in the evening after work. Tonga. I've sold a bunch of discs recently, about £700 worth in all. Sold a lot of steelbooks and replaced with regulars, all at good profits. Bought some new ones and other new stuff with the money. Has it bothered you, Tom, getting rid of the steelbooks and replaced with the regulars? Because when I used to collect steelbooks, it's something that worried me. Now, I just think all I can see is the spines. It doesn't matter if it's steelbook or Amaray or anything like that. I don't like paying premium for steelbooks either. So, yeah, I'd rather just stick to Amaray now. But I did very similar to you with the steelbooks and made quite a tidy sum with some movies. Napang Films. I can normally manage a film a day. Trying to keep up with the series is hard work, though. It is. I want to watch Gen V before The Boys' new season starts. Still want to watch Shogun that's on Disney Plus, and I'm still working my way through Tokyo Vice as well, and I just can't seem to get there. They're not even a long series. There's only about 8 episodes. Real Sketchman. I think a lot of movies, collectors should realise that it's okay to outgrow a movie or TV series. Many feel like they have to keep everything for whatever reason. Yes, they do. And many feel like they have to buy certain things that they remember for the smallest of reasons as well. The amount of classic TV shows that I see popping up that are being re-released that a lot of people are buying, I wonder if all of these people are going to actually watch them, because they just don't float as well, a lot of them, at all. Back to Eli Roth. Darren G. Has Eli Roth made a good film? I enjoyed Hostel, Darren G. That's the one that I was referring to that I potentially would go back to. But I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that he knocked out of the park. Martin's Movie Cupboard. I try my best to watch a movie every night. I would love to, but it's normally a TV show. Martin's Reviews. I have a Friday and Monday free, so I'll be watching a bunch of movies, but I have your unboxing film on a Saturday. AJ Pink. Got 2 weeks off for Christmas, but we'll be quite busy, so I'm not sure how many I'll end up watching. We've got Christmas off, but also with 2 young kids, movie watching is going to be out the window. Out the window. Ragnar, just grab Shawscope for a lot of flicks to watch. I'd never get to them. Never get to them. I actually sold my Shawscope box sets as part of what I cleared out, because realistically I knew there were movies that I wouldn't fit in over everything else. Ragnar, a lot of YouTubers I feel are addicted, just spending money, the rush of that, not literally watching the film. It is. It's all about the rush of it, the dopamine hit from the buying, the dopamine hit from receiving, from making the video to receiving the comments on a new release. It's all sort of built for those highs that they're getting along the way, and yeah, it becomes addictive. Ragnar, fear of missing out is real. It is indeed. Jim Bobs, I used to get rid of DVDs and Blu-rays, then a couple of years later I would rebuy them again. I haven't done that for years. I don't think there's been many I've rebought, but there has been a couple, definitely. Ragnar, that's what drives me crazy. I've watched everything I've purchased. I couldn't imagine buying these things and not getting them watched at all. I have a problem of letting go of the DVD after I have it on Blu-ray. I used to, but I've been a little bit better. There's still ones that slip by, though. There really is. Gone Hollow Media. Either they have a ton of cash to buy all the releases, or they do it for the prospect of channel growth, which relies on being the first to upload content, hence people picking up everything release day one. Absolutely. Ragnar, did you see the YouTuber confessed to having $30,000 of debt from physical media? I did indeed. I made a video in kind of response to that about the credit card debt with things like collecting and that sort of habit. It's ridiculous, really, isn't it? In my eyes, but yeah, I know there's a lot of us that have been down that path or on that path. So just be careful. Be careful, guys. I've gone Hollow Media. I think only films I've bought this year have been Nosferatu 28 Years Later, which is Blind Buy, and the Nightmare box set. Wasn't impressed by 28 Years, though. It's not one I've watched, and it's not one I've been interested in watching for some reason. I thought the first one, 21 days later, I thought that was fine. That was fine. 28 weeks later, I thought was horrible. I didn't watch the end, I don't think. 28 years later, I've just lost interest in it all. Sorry. I know people have said it's good. Glenn's recommended it to me as well, but I've just not got the interest. Ragnar, it's good to let things go and let other people enjoy them. We're just caretakers. It always winds up being in someone else's hands when we die. Absolutely. Morton's reviews. Now you just need to watch the 3 other Carrie movies. I remember The Rage. It's one I did pick up at some point because I thought it was okay. But it's another I picked up that I never rewatched and got never really interested in going back to, really. So I did end up selling that one as well. Ragnar said, where are you? Sounds like England. I'm in New Jersey, USA. I'm indeed England, Ragnar. I am right pretty much smack in the middle between a town called Nottingham and a town called Derby. I'm kind of in the middle there as well. Let's see. Who else? Sorry, I'm just catching up with comments. Glenn's not here to cover my quiet time, the dead air. Where are you, Glenn? Ethan Schneider. I think another thing that we need to think about is how long our discs will last. For instance, 20 years from now, will these discs even work? A lot of them won't, Ethan Schneider. I think the 4K discs are going to be the worst offenders for it as well. I don't think they're meant to last very long at all. AJ Pink said, it's not about value for me. It's about space and mental clutter. Get them gone. Indeed, I think so as well. And it's been good getting them gone because it's allowed, as I say, to be able to pick up things that I want now. The things that are sat on my shelf that don't matter so much, them being gone have allowed me to get something that now does matter to me. And yeah, I'm trying to think of some of the titles that I got rid of that didn't matter and sat in my collection for a long, long time. I'm just looking at my sold list on eBay, and the type of things I've been selling have been things like 3 O'Clock High, 80s movie, Dark Angel, the one with Dolph Lundgren. I'm not interested in going back to them. Alien Nation, again, one I enjoyed back in, the 80s, 90s. I've no real interest now. It's kind of lost its relevance, really, now. Pumpkinhead, I never went back to that, and I wasn't really tempted to. And there's been a number of titles like that, and they've all been sat on my shelf for months, years, unused, uncared for, and just selling them and releasing the money from them allowed me to get the newer stuff that I was interested in. Lord of the Rings I wanted to rewatch. It's allowed me to buy that on 4K so I can get rewatching it. It's, yeah, the things that you don't care for anymore. I think it's very important to go back through the collection and just consider how much you need something in there, and if you could free up the money for something that you did want. If there is that big box set that you can't afford, can something from your collection leave so you can use that money for it? AJ Pink says, depends. Some new 4K masters are worth it for older films. Newer films shot on digital, the standard Blu-ray is good enough. Absolutely. Ragnar says, physical medias don't rent movies. Physical media collectors don't rent movies, should I say. I have started trying to rent more and more, but yeah, you're pretty much right. Yeah, Anthony says, yeah, I've noticed this live stream is pretty funky. Sorry, I don't know what's happening. I really don't. It's reading okay at my end, and I don't know why you're having trouble. Sorry. Stephen Connors joins us as well. Hi, Phil. Hey, Stephen. Hope you're doing well. AJ Pink. I rent movies sometimes if it's cheaper than buying the Blu-ray. I can't stream for free. Some things are a one-time watch. Renting is fine. I think we need to sort of normalize the rental aspect of it again, because let's face it, we go back 30 years, it was all rental. You'd go to the video shop and rent it and not think twice about it. You maybe pick it up afterwards if it's something that you really loved. You'd actually buy and own it, but generally everything was a rental first. It was never considered to go and blind buy something. It was rent it. If you like it, you buy it. Gone Hollow Media. I think between 2007, 2019 was probably when I collected movies the most. I've slowed down drastically over the last 5 years. Same with the cinema, twice a year maybe. I've actually sped up with the cinema, and since my kids have got older, it's just allowed me a bit more time in the evening. So I started to go more often again now, and I do enjoy that cinema experience. Antonella Piello says, good thing for me, I don't have kids, so I'll only watch them 3 times a week. So meows a lot. Me, I have no time for a movie. And then 3 episodes of Chicago Fire later. Damn it. Gets addictive. I do silly things like that as well. Can't fit in a movie, but then I watch 2 episodes of, I'll tell you what I watched 2 episodes of as we get to what we watched. Stephen Connor, hey Phil, I note you don't review releases or purchases. Would that not be a way to potentially receive complimentary releases to save some cash outlay? It would, Stephen. I don't tend to review the releases or purchases because if I'm going to do it, I want to do it in an interesting way. And it's such a rush just to get that sort of content out that I haven't got the time to be able to pull it in yet. Could be potential for the future, but while I've got kids, full-time job, and everything else going off, I don't feel I could do it justice. It would be nice to potentially receive some complimentary releases, but yeah, it's not something that I do at the moment. But plans are afoot for the future if things can change around. Once reviews, I was planning on making a video on Stranger Things Christmas markets. I have to learn how to make new content without buying new stuff. That was my thing when I started YouTube. I promised my wife that I wouldn't spend just to be able to make videos. So I tended to start on topics rather than pickups and things like that. So that's why I didn't start off by doing a lot of reviews. Few unboxings did come along the way on those sort of things, but I find those quite dull to make and dull to watch. So I tended to steer clear of those. Ragnar says, what's the most you've ever spent on a 4K or Blu-ray that you're really searching for? I don't think I've spent over sort of 40 quid on one. I think the biggest expense was probably the Pulp Fiction pop-up edition. That was £40. So not a lot. I tend to don't see the worth when it's getting to sort of anything more than what, $40-50 for one single release. I just don't see the value of it really, so I don't tend to stretch too far. Beans on Toast with us as well. Good evening, hope you're well. Gone Hollow Media, Strange Things episode 1 to 4 down, caught up on Welcome to Today, now straight into Dexter Resurrection, possibly into Pluribus before Fallout season 2, fitting films in between 2, hopefully. Fair. Ragnar, the guys on YouTube that get the crap for free or nothing, but they really work for the companies and our commercials. That's the worry with some of the reviews when you're getting things for free, that you are seen as pushing things. And I don't want to push things and be seen as not a salesman, but I'd like to do it in a way that didn't involve me having freebies and feeling like I had to review something positively. I'll give you an example of something. Someone reached out to me on Instagram regarding, here we go. It was regarding sleeves or slip covers that were specially created for whatever release we wanted. He offered to send me products so I could cover it on a video. And if you've watched my videos, you know I'll sort of speak out about things like that. I think the slip covers things is crazy. I think it's insane. So why would I want to take a freebie from this guy so I could review it on my channel? I'd lose any integrity because it's something that I've sort of spoken out about. It's not important. It's not something that we should be worried about as part of the package. It is important to some of us, and we do look for that, but it's not my sort of content. And I feel like if I cover someone that creates slip covers and I'm sort of doing glowing reviews, even though I spoke out against them in the past, I'd lose any integrity for it. I can't just accept the freebies because of that. It seems silly. I don't want to do it because I don't want to go back on my thoughts and what I say just to try and make a few quid. It's not worth it. I'd rather be honest with you guys. AJ Pink says, I don't watch TV series, so purely having time for films helps. TV series can soak up so much time, AJ, but there are some quality shows that are worth your time as well. Really are. God Hollow Media, reading is a hobby that suffers from me. Been reading the Tommyknockers for a year, probably one reading session every 10 days. Just too much to choose every evening. I've got through a few books recently, and I've been enjoying reading again. It's really quite nice to be able to fit it in again. So it's something that I hope to continue. I tend to get through a book every couple of weeks or something like that. So I'm not doing too bad at the moment. The last one I read was a novel by S.A. Crosby called Razorblade Tears. And I'd read one of his novels a few weeks earlier called All Sinners Bleed. And that's been turned into a Netflix show. So I'm quite looking forward to checking that out as well. AJ Pink said, agree on outgrowing some things. Every now and again, I'll rewatch something and won't enjoy it as much. Speaking of outgrowing things, has anyone received their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles box set from Arrow? I'm intrigued if people have the same feelings on that one since that got re-released and a lot of people bought it again. Beans on Toast says, latest season of Stranger Things is very good. I've enjoyed it too, so far. One's reviews. Me and the wife have been rewatching Stranger Things and we're now in season 3. That's a season a week. That's good going. Oliver Blake. Hey Oliver, how are you? Well? Hi. Have you heard about Netflix buying Warner Brothers? What are your thoughts on it? I think it's a bad idea. I'm going to hold my thoughts. I did mention something about it earlier, but I think we'll go into it a bit further when there's a bit more information come out. But my gut feeling is that Netflix will keep Warner Brothers running kind of separately for a while, but I do think they'll make the grabs to have some of the films on Netflix as soon as possible. Morton's reviews, I don't get people who buy movies and never open them. I've done it before, Morton, and I bet plenty of us have as well. I don't get it. I don't agree with it. I do it. It's wrong. Redcar says the most I've spent was a pre-ordered the Halloween imprint pumpkin. That was a pricey one, that was. How was it? Has it arrived? It got delayed, didn't it? Gone Hollow Media. Looking forward to Mike Flanagan's Carrie, but there really isn't enough content for a 10-episode series. I don't know. Mike Flanagan might surprise us. We'll see. Let's grow up, Dad. Any selling regrets, an addition you parted ways with that you wish you hadn't? There has been kind of completely unnecessary. I showed it on here, actually. It was a DVD copy of a film called Almost Famous. I had an edition called the Bootleg Edition, and it came with a CD soundtrack for the band within the film that were called Stillwater. And I sold it because I got the 4K and I got the Blu-ray as well. And I always regretted getting rid of that edition because it had the CD in there. And it's one that I actually replaced. I actually went back out and rebought it, and it's sat on my shelf happily now. And I'm glad that's back into my collection. But yeah, I did regret that one. Just having another flick through the comments. AJ Pink, Netflix Warner Brothers deal won't be settled until late 26, early 27, so no need to panic buy releases. We don't know enough yet. Absolutely. That's the worrying thing as well. I thought that immediately when I saw all the YouTubers posting the everything's going to burn down sort of videos, that it's going to put the fear into some people, and there will be a potential glut of people that go out and try and buy as many Warner Brothers titles as they can because they're now panicking that they're not going to have those in the future. But I don't know. I think they'll always have that option, and they'll always be knocking about because less and less people are interested in the physical media anyway. So CX is always going to be having those in stock. Morton's review says, I just watched Pumpkinhead today. You could have bought mine, Morton. Napang Films, I love the 80s and 90s, old school action stuff. I can watch again and again. The old school comedy never gets old. Yeah, I Lethal Weapon gets replayed so often at mine, and it's ones that I wouldn't mind upgrading to 4K, but I'm in no rush at the moment. I'll stick with the Blu-rays. They've served me fine for a number of years, so we'll see. We'll see. Morton's review says Netflix already painted over the Warner Brothers logo in Hollywoodland. AJ Pink, got all I need from Warner Brothers archive. A lot of filler titles there, but a good shout. Anthony Lepello, whatever movies I let go, I'll be buying movies on streaming. You all know that I use Apple a lot for buying digital movies. I think it's a a good option. And I've bought a few movies recently on Apple TV. The other day they had a bit of a sale on a movie that I've not seen. It was cheaper to buy than to actually rent, and I got Paul Giamatti movie, The Holdovers, and it's a Christmassy one, so it's one that I will be checking out hopefully soon. But that was $2.99 for the 4K stream. It's not physical, yeah, but it cost me £3, and that's to buy it rather than rent. It's cheaper than a rental or anything. So yeah, I thought, you know what, go for it. We'll go for it. Where are we? Grow up, Dad. When to rent a movie digitally is as much as picking up the Blu-ray as it's a bit of a conundrum. I think pull pricing into it if you're not too worried about the quality, because a lot of people mention the bit rate on streaming. I don't think streaming is as bad as a lot of people make out, but yeah, just price it up and see what's going to give you the best value. Just bear in mind that the Blu-ray can resell if you don't like it. The digital, if you've rented it, obviously you haven't got that asset to sell on. And we've got a surprise visitor, guys, who's just popped up and then logged off again. I was going to invite him on, but he's gone. It's gone. AJ Pink, cinema is nice to go and see new releases. Stops you buying them on release day as well as blind buy. It does. There's films that I've seen at the cinema this year, AJ, that I've really enjoyed. And I would pick them up physically, but I've not got a rush to go out and do it now because I know I've seen the movie. I know the ones that I could sit down and watch, but why buy those movies now when there's others that I could buy in to watch instead? So there are movies that I will buy eventually when I'm ready to rewatch, but that rush is gone, the rush to overspend. Ragnar says, I don't get the term blind buying. Every movie you see for the first time is a blind buying, so technically every movie you've ever watched is a blind buy. It's just literally when you've not seen the movie at all, you purchase it and you've not seen it at all. Anthony says, you know, it does feel like dead silence without Glenn around. Well, in that case, Anthony, we'll get Glenn on. I hope you're happy now. How are you, sir?
Hi, everyone. Well, pause, look. You all right?
Yeah, you?
I'm fine, thank you. Your picture quality is very pixelated, you know.
Yeah, I don't know why. I can't figure out why. I think it must be something to do with StreamYard, and I can't figure out. It's reading, signal is reading well on my end. I've just done a speed check and everything, and it's reading well, but so I've no idea. I'm assuming it's StreamYard.
Who knows? But anyway, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How was your evening?
It was quite pleasant, thank you.
Good.
As expected, it kind of skipped by and just kind of dispersed as we expected it to, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I've been discussing selling stuff, selling our movies, not our movies, but selling my movies. I know you've been selling your movies as well, but it was more of when and why is a good time to sell your physical media collection. And I was just trying to go through my reasons for selling my collection and what I've used the money for and things like that. And yeah, did you, when you sold your collection or part of your collection, did your money get earmarked for other stuff? Did you have like newer stuff that you put the money towards and made use of the discs that you had in your collection?
Yeah,
And
there was a lot of getting rid of the gumph that I didn't need anymore, and kind of putting it towards things that I really wanted, that were kind of, whether that was slightly nicer sets or import things that I couldn't get from here, and things where I needed that little bit extra dollar. I have to say, a lot of it, I was very, very sensible. It actually went into the bank and actually went towards the bills and things. But I bought a few different bits and bobs, but things that I really wanted rather than stuff that was just there for the sake of being there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, yours has been very productive. Like you say, you pretty much paid for your new TV, haven't you?
Yeah. I didn't use it for the new TV, but if you put everything that I sold together, it would have paid for the TV.
Pretty much paid for it.
100% covered it, yeah. So it went towards the new speakers, went towards like the Apple TV unit, went towards all sorts of bits and bobs in there. It's really sort of helped out. And I was saying that it's the things that I've selected as well. The things that I've been selling have really been things that I wouldn't think to go back to watch. I showed a couple of examples earlier, and I mean, I'll let you judge me, but I showed this one earlier, Space Hunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. Why is that in the collection? Tom Selleck, Runaway, 80s killer robot thing.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. It's the things that I did enjoy, the things that I remember enjoying. Not saying they're the greatest movies, but things I remember enjoying and think, I need that in my collection because I did like it. And then when it's sat in your collection, there's sort of going back to it to watch it. Would you ever want to watch any of those movies again? Even if you enjoyed them?
I honestly think so much of our collections are, like Runaway, for example, Tom Selleck. It's an okay little sci-fi thing. I remember watching it with my dad.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I have kind of fond memories of it, and there's probably that nostalgia kick and things like that. And that's more why I'd hold that film in higher regard than it probably actually deserves.
Yeah.
And certainly doesn't need to be in my collection. But it's, I think a lot of the things we purchase are memories of either who we're with or who we watch them with, or there's something. It's not always about the film necessarily as to why we end up purchasing something. Hi, AJ. Hi, Beans on Toast. Oh, snap. What an entrance.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I was just looking through as you're rambling. Sorry, I was...
That's all right. No, go for it. No, but I did nice to say hi to everyone anyway. Hi.
There you go.
It's AI Glenn. If it was AI Glenn, it'd look better than this.
Everyone's coming out now. Everyone's commenting.
Hi.
Oh,
hi,
dear.
everyone. Yeah.
It's,
but no, I don't think we always buy films because the echoing. Is there an echo?
Apparently. I can't hear it, but...
Sorry. Didn't mean that. Yeah, so I think we end up buying a lot of things for various reasons, and they probably shouldn't. As we've talked about in the past, the amount of things we've purchased because we've seen them and they're cheap.
Yeah.
Wouldn't normally consider it, but look, it's only like £5 or something. Oh, I'll buy that. And then it just sits there. It often shits there as well, just as a shelf filler.
Yeah.
So no, all of these things should go towards something more productive and something we actually really want and we really enjoy and really love.
Absolutely. And I said earlier that I used part of the money as well from trading a bunch of things into CEX for the Lord of the Rings trilogy on 4K. Which actually,
to be honest, I mean, the last few weeks you've been banging on about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, people pushing me to log out and then log back in, and because of my quality is really poor, apparently.
On the plus side, they're pushing you to log out and log back in, rather than can Phil just log out, please?
Yeah, I don't know if it would work though. It shouldn't shut it down, should it? Let me try. Let me see what's what.
Try it. See if we disappear.
Are you good? Are you good?
I'm good. Go.
Okay.
Hi. It's just me on my own lot. Wasn't here 1 minute and now I'm here the next. Anyway, welcome to the Glenn Show. Let's face it, this is what we've all wanted, really. We don't need the lanky guy. He's pointless. He sits there reading comments and he's very selective and only picks certain people. He's got his favourites. I'll tell you that for nothing. Yeah. Oh, here he is. Got la la la. Hiya, Phil. You're right. We're just chatting.
Is that any better? Has it?
That is loads better. Loads better. You're actually in sync as well, which is even better. Well done, you.
Yeah, I've lost all my files and things though. Is that better?
Oh, okay.
Good.
What, thumbnails and things? Doesn't matter.
I didn't have any slides particularly ready anyway, but
yes, Big Jace. Big Jace. That was quite a large Glen, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy says 59 people watching. So all of those 59 people had me full screen. Ugh, I'm sorry.
So I did have a basket of stuff that I'm selling on here as well, right next to me. So the other sort of stuff that I'm selling, besides the other stuff that I'll get rid of, we've got Jeremiah Johnson.
Yes.
Robert
Supposedly a great film, though.
The New Kids.
Mm,
The Haunting.
yeah.
Marathon Man.
Mm-hmm.
Boyhood.
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing that I'm selling. And, when I look at them on my shelf, some of them might be good movies. Some of them might be well-recommended movies and things like that. But they're not movies that I'm picking to watch. And that was my worry with having them on the shelf as well, is I'm never picking them off the shelf to watch. I need to find the films from my collection that I'm going to carry on wanting to watch, carry on going to the shelf and picking them out rather than just skipping by them. And these things, they've been on my shelf for ages and always skipped by. And
yeah, the chances of you sitting down one night and going, you know what I really fancy watching? Marathon Man with Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the choice. When it comes to sort of keep it or sell it, it's got to be a movie that I don't skip past on the shelf, really. It's got to be a movie that gets looked at or gets at least considered. If it's not considered, then I don't know if it's worth keeping it.
Well, there's no you don't think it's worth keeping. It isn't worth keeping. If you are not going to watch it, what purpose is it serving?
Yeah.
Other than gathering dust.
Dr. Fear. I feel like that. Hey, Dr. Fear. Right. I'm a slave to the nostalgia kick. Most of my collection centres around memories from my past.
Yeah, I think
some of mine still does, to be fair, as well. There's some movies that I've kept because of certain memories or certain nostalgia and things like that. And it's something that I don't want to fully lose from the collection, but certainly more considered with which ones I keep and for what reasons. Really, I mean, some of the movies have, the ones that have really sort of helped me through certain situations and certain things, I don't think I'd get rid of. They'd always be revisited or whatever. And they'll probably stay on my shelf anyway because
I think there's numerous things from a nostalgia kick that we think back to films from the 80s and we go, I really liked that then. Yeah, we were probably like 10 years old. So our tastes change. There's certain films that you're always going to go back to. Something like, I don't know, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I bet I watch that every few years easily because it's just one of those go-to kind of movies. There's other ones that it's okay as going, I loved that when I was a kid. Right. Try rewatching it now. Put it to one side and specifically make it one that you're going to rewatch. Because I would think 9 times out of 10, it's probably not going to hold up and you won't. The thought of it is nicer than actually the rewatch.
Yeah, exactly. And I think sometimes the rewatch can actually ruin the nostalgia, the memory of it. I think I spoke about this with The Last Starfighter because I got called out on a video for pulling out The Last Starfighter and saying that I don't want to rewatch it because I'm worried that film just won't hold up for me anymore. I'd rather have the memory of enjoying it and the memory of the movie than trying to watch it again and thinking, Christ, nothing in that movie held up like it did when I was 12.
Yeah, and I think by now, if you were going to rewatch it, you would have done.
Yeah. And I can be the dad as much as I want with my kids and trying to show them older movies, but they're not going to enjoy stuff like that like I did because they're used to seeing the effects on Transformers or something like that. You go back to Last Starfighter and everything's cardboard cut out. Nonsense. I
use this as an example. Sorry, I'm just putting some eBay padding behind my back. So my back's hurting a little bit. What was I going to say? Yeah, when we were kids, if your dad had sat you down and gone, watch this, you're going to love this. It's from 40 years ago. You'd have probably gone, I don't really want to watch that. And that's kind of what you're suggesting. I was going to say forcing your kids to do. Suggesting to your children in a very firm way, you'll like this because I used to like this. But we're talking about films that are 40-odd years old.
I have in the past, though, put a film on for me to. I've left when the kids have been doing something in the room that I'm in. I said, right, you're doing your Lego. I'm going to put this film on, and I'll sit and watch it. I'll not say anything to them, but I'll sit and watch it and watch them and see if they get drawn into it. And it actually worked with The Rocketeer. And yeah, they got drawn into that. My oldest did anyway. He got drawn into it and really interested, and actually ended up quite enjoying it. And
Rocketeer is great.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
made them
it's
watch.
such a shame with that film that Jennifer Connelly is so unattractive throughout.
Yeah.
It's a real shame. Yeah.
I did sit them down and make them watch. No, I didn't make them watch Mask of Zorro the other week.
Right. Okay.
I enjoyed that. I was quite surprised that they got drawn into that. I mean, it's an enjoyable movie anyway, but I thought there'd be too much story there. But yeah, they sat through it. They're really good. So yeah, Ethan Schneider says, keep your favourites, stream everything else. I got called out for that before, Ethan, but yes, I do like streaming other things.
Well, whenever you say the word stream or digital, that's it. They're out with the pitchforks. Burn him!
He's not a collector.
Yeah.
AJ Pink said, if it's hard to imagine yourself thinking of it when wanting to rewatch something, get rid. That's fair to say as well. Definitely. 42nd Street Forever. I think films reminds us of. I think
films you're saying it right.
Yeah. Places and people we were with within good times. You mentioned Ferris Bueller's. I took a girl on a date to that film. Sorry, I can't get my words out tonight.
No, you were, yeah. You were saying it right. It was, yeah.
Crazy Night. I've been enjoying some stuff on Mubi for newer indie films. A nice break from some of the trash that has been on the Hollywood side of things. There's a lot of rubbish on there too, though, unfortunately. I think there's a lot of rubbish on all of them. You
can't streaming services, can't you? A lot of it's padding.
Yeah. Anthony says Marathon Man is a real shocker of a film.
It is, but it's kind of, I mean, most people know it for the dental scene with John Gielgud and what have you. And it is a good watch. But would I rewatch it? No, I think it's a box ticked and that's kind of it.
Yeah. Big Up Starlight Breakfast Club. I have watched that movie over and over. I've watched it several times as well. And AJ Pinks loves it as well. Good movie, and that's more of a comfort watch now. I think for me, I don't think it is necessary for you. Is it? It's not one that you're too.
I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. Yeah, it's not a go-to for me.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, Darren G. Some films hold up, some don't. I watched Inner Space again recently and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you see, I really like that.
Yeah, I've Inner Space I've got still sat here. I think it's with my Joe Dante collection through there. I've still got my director's collections. I'm sorry, Joe Dante is one of them. So yeah, it's in there. Yeah, I'm just losing where I am now, Glenn. So I know where I'm going to go.
Okay.
I'm a bit lost on time and stuff like that now. Now you've joined us, I'm a bit thrown off.
Okay.
So
I'll tell you what time it is. It's 10 to 9, Phil. It's 10 to 9.
There we go. I'll jump into what picks up. Have you picked anything up this week?
Are we counting
stuff
STIs or just actual physical media?
Just physical media, I think, for now.
In that case, no.
Brilliant. I'm glad you came on at this point.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. I'll say bye now. No, I've not bought anything. I've not been into town and I've not ordered anything online. Tell a lie. But like Christmas gifts and things like that. Nothing for myself.
Yeah. Very good.
What about you?
I got an order through. Yeah, I picked up. I forgot to bring it back upstairs because it is downstairs with my player at the moment. But I got the Lord of the Rings trilogy on 4K. So I can't wait that about. And then I got some of my Criterion order through from the Barnes & Noble sale.
Nice.
So I got my copy of No Country for Old Men.
Sweet as.
4K.
Great film.
It's Criterion, you know, Glenn.
Yeah, I can see that.
Criterion collection disc.
Yeah.
It's not just regular. It's not just a regular edition. This is a boutique label Criterion disc.
Yeah, well, it's better than any other edition out there ever.
Yeah.
And ever will be.
I've just realised.
Oh, I hate that noise when that appears. That's not good.
Yeah.
Crack it open quick.
Great movie, really like it, and it means I can take a Blu-ray off my shelf because now that's in its place. And similarly,
Similarly.
Shape of
Oh,
Water.
okay. You went Shape of Water, did you? Okay.
Yes. I went for the 4K Shape of Water because Criterion are normally great on the extras, and it just felt good to have the Criterion one of a Del Toro film when most of his others I've got a Criterion as well. Because the other one that I got, I upgraded the Pan's Labyrinth to the Criterion edition as well.
You've been spending, haven't you, Phil?
Yeah. I do have some more. Another Criterion on its way to me as well, but I'm not going to divulge that because it's part of your package that's coming as well. Because you've got some stuff coming from Criterion, which we're not going to show either because
it's not arrived.
Yes, hopefully soon.
But everybody knows I have a lovely package, so that's all that matters. Yeah.
So see what everyone else has been.
Yeah, I suppose so. I know you're never interested, and every time we come off of this, you always go, "I ate that bit because I don't care what anybody else has bought." But I think we should do it, Phil. I think we should do it.
I want to talk about me.
Yeah.
There we go then. Right at the top, I think I'm at the top. I can see some talk of Misery on 4K, but I don't think that's a pick up. But we've got Darren G. I got Reanimator from Second Sight yesterday.
Okay, so that must be out tomorrow then, is it?
I didn't realise it was that soon, to be honest.
No, I didn't.
It's good. This has had some really nice editions recently. It's had one in the US that I think Jeremy was talking about the other week. They did the big plush box set things with them.
Well, wasn't it an Arrow release in the States?
Yes.
We've obviously had it from Second Sight previously because I've still got the Second Sight one.
Me too. It was Arrow at a point, and then there's another edition that's just come out, and I forgot who released it. Jeremy, help me out if you know who it was, because I'm not. Ignite Films Reanimator.
Ignite Films. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, so they've had the Arrow one, and then they've got this edition from Ignite Films. So there's loads. Morton's Reviews. I just bought Misery on Blu-ray, but it's a media book.
That's fine. It's not a biscuit tin. Don't worry about it.
Cool. I've been wanting to rewatch Misery for quite some time. I really need to get on top of that. Jeremy Carr upgraded to 4K this week. Dead Zone, Jurassic Park trilogy. That's a steelbook, isn't it, Jeremy? And Black Christmas. I assume the 70s one.
Yeah, Dead Zone's a great movie. Not enough people talk about Dead Zone.
Yeah,
it's a great King book, but it's a very good adaptation. Christopher Walken's amazing in it. Great film. Jeremy has said yes, it is a biscuit tin.
Yeah, we know, Jeremy. We know. I don't think there was any other option for that new release, was there? Because I think the previous Jurassic Park trilogy had some kind of error on it, and then the new version that they released with the changes, I think they only released in biscuit tin form, so I don't think there was any choice there for Jeremy, so we'll let that one slide.
Will we? You can. I'm not.
Being Spontoast, I grabbed The Thing, Akira, Crimson Peak, Shape of Water, and I'm waiting for the Turtles trilogy.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I would pick to watch, if I was watching something right now,
The Thing.
Yeah.
The Thing, Crimson Peak, Shape of Water.
Right. Here we go. Morton.
There we go. Big breath.
It says, okay, I bought a few because the buying stops. So here we go. Hellraiser 22, Daybreakers, Weird Al Yankovic story, Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions.
And there's more.
Okay. Daybreakers, I find the directors behind that quite interesting, and I'm hoping to work a lot more, but they seem...
I would like to pick up the Hellraiser 2022 release because it's 4K. Yes, I enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
I quite like Jamie Clayton as Pinhead. I thought it was an interesting take. I thought the film was okay as well, to be honest. Because it's Turbine Media in Germany.
Right.
So I think there's like 4 different media books, and there's a biscuit tin as well. And I'd quite like one of the media books, I think. Can't afford it. But...
No movie this week, but did get 2 minibus for the collection. Previously, and Bo-Katan from Cyber Monday sale. Nice. AJ Pink, quite a few pickups this week. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest 4K. Catch Me If You Can 4K. Biscuits in Row. Black Christmas and Kiss Me Deadly Criterion. Also 4 Criterion imports.
So Black Christmas has been a pickup for a few people then.
Yeah.
Is that purely because everybody likes it, or it's heading towards Christmas time?
Bit of both, I bet. Big days. Pick up this week's Picard box set, Nightmare on Elm Street collection, single biscuit tin, Batman vs Superman lenticular US book version, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Pacific Rim Uprising in 3D.
In 3D.
Yeah. Modern Chain Reactions limited edition Blu-ray 3-disc versions, and I bought House of Dragons 4K for my wife. Okay, you got the Chain Reactions one, didn't you?
I did. Started watching it this week, just as a spoiler.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't get the 3-discer. I only got the single disc one. Yeah.
What was the differences?
Absolutely no idea. We only got the single disc over here.
Oh, fair. AJ, Criterion imports where the big heat, the hero, my darling Clementine, to be or not to be.
Okay.
And Pang Films just picks up The Mask on sale and the Mexico trilogy.
Nice.
The Mexico trilogy I need to take downstairs as well. I need to run that through the new setup. There's a lot. Scooby-Doo holiday DVD, 5 hours, so multiple episodes. Criterion, His Girl Friday. GameCube game, Fire Emblem, Path of Radiance. That one set me back. Retro gaming's going to cost you. Morton says I got both Black Christmas last week.
Wow.
You got both. There's three of them, Morton.
Yeah. Yeah, there are 3 now, aren't they?
Yeah. There are. Jeremy says there isn't just a 78 Black Christmas.
Oh, no. There be more.
There are. Jeremy says, I now have a total of 5 biscuit tins. Jurassic Park, I'm in Darkness, They Live, Godzilla 98, Lupin the Third, the first. Great film, horrible title.
I mean, I'm not one to judge, Jeremy, but you should be ashamed of yourself.
Which for?
Gosh.
Biscuit tins.
And from the biscuit tin aspect, not from the film aspect. The films are great, but yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy Carr, 3 Black Christmas, I need details. You don't.
You don't. No, none of them have.
Was it 90s or was it noughties? Might have been noughties one starring Lacey Chabert and Katie Cassidy and a few other girlies. And then there was one 3 or 4 years ago with
Imogen Poots and Carrie Elways was he in it as well?
I can't remember. That was terrible. That was really, really bad. The one from the noughties, I think, was passable, but the newest one is awful.
I think you think that one was passable because of who was in it.
Yes, quite possibly.
Yes.
You possibly right. So we'll leave that there. And,
less party of 5 and more party of 1 for Phil.
Moving us on quick now, aren't I? What have you watched? Do you want to kick us off?
Can do. I've watched TV wise. We've started I Love LA, the Rachel Sennett TV show. 3 episodes into that. It's quite entertaining. It's all right. It's harmless enough. And then we've watched we're up to date with Ink Master. And then film wise, we watched Begonia this week.
Oh yes.
Which has gone into my top 10 of this year. I might push it and say kind of top 6, to be honest. But I didn't realise until tonight, because we went out for a meal and stuff, and Nick was there, and so me and Nick instantly just ignored everybody else and started chatting to each other. And he told me that Begonia was a remake, and I never knew that at all. It was a remake of a South Korean movie from 2003, I think it was, called something along the lines of, somebody will correct me here, Save the Green Planet or something. it's a bit of a gender swap take on it, kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, but it's a remake. But anyway, very, very good. Lynn's not a huge Yorgos Lanthimos fan. She finds his stuff a little too weird, but really enjoyed Begonia.
Yeah.
That and The Favourite are probably her two that she. We did finish Dracula, yes, and it didn't get any more sane or better. It was so weird, honestly. It's like it's a weird kind of. Honestly, if your kids sat down to watch it, I think they'd be okay with it.
Right.
It's not a horror in any way. Like I said last week, which I know was a bit of a spoiler, but he's got these 3-foot tall CGI gargoyles like going around doing his bidding and all this kind of stuff. And there's a scene in it where the army invade the castle, and suddenly these these gargoyles are doing like MMA and parkour and stuff like this around the battlements and stuff. It's ludicrous. It's one of the weirdest takes on Dracula I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, so I've bought it 4K steelbook.
Nice.
Straight away because it's amazing. But no, Begonia was very good. Begonia's up there for this year for sure.
Yeah, I thought it looked interesting anyway. But hearing your response on it, I kind of want to see it a little bit more now.
Yeah, performances as well are just Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone are just they're kind of faultless for the characters that they're playing, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's up there. It's not up there. It's not one battle after another. Sinners kind of up there, but it's a solid movie for the year, definitely.
Good. Is that all you watched?
I think it is actually. Yeah, it's been a lot of TV stuff and bits and bobs. Nothing to kind of write home about.
I've been TV this week. We hit the Apple TV, and we've been watching Last Frontier. That's on there, and that's all right actually. It's not bad. It's got the overarching story, but it's starting to feel a bit more like not case of the week, but convict of the week kind of thing. It's basically a plane crash full of convicts in Alaska, and they all go on the run, and it's got a marshal trying to track them down, but also dealing with one major escape that's got a bit more backstory to do with the CIA and certain history that's the overarching story. But the other convicts are sort of case of the week style, convict of the week, of them catching, killing, or subduing said convicts. So yeah, looking forward to seeing where it goes. But
who's in that then?
Jason Clarke, is it? I think there's no one. There was Johnny Knoxville in it.
Random.
Clifton Collins Jr.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. I'm gonna have a look now because I can't remember all the names. Dominic Cooper. He was one of the main actors. Sorry, I think that's probably the main actor names that we'd all recognise, really. But yeah, Jason Clarke does a pretty decent job.
I say we kind of run out of things to watch that are kind of fillers, which is why we picked up I Love LA. And it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah. I've also watched a film this week because it was a short run time. And we're like a true story in this household. We're like something that's based on a true story. I don't know why, but we watched Last Breath. The
underwater thing. Yeah.
Woody Harrelson and Simu Liu. Is it Simu Liu? Shang-Chi. And it wasn't as good as I was hoping. It's tough to say because it's an extraordinary story of survival, which you'd expect, but it didn't make a captivating film. I wasn't sort of tense throughout. This story just played out without any real. There's no real tension to it, or it it just meandered through, and even though the story of survival, because it was based on a true story, is quite extraordinary, it just didn't make an interesting film. Which feels horrible to say, but no, it was.
I've realised I have watched something else as well. Talking of true stories,
Oh, go on.
and that was Christie last Monday.
Oh, yes.
The Sydney Sweeney boxing thing. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have forgotten because it was a great film. Was it a little bit painting by numbers biopic? Yeah, to a degree. And just, I think I described it to you as it's well made, everybody's great in it, and it just starts to kind of lag slightly into kind of, okay, well, we can see what's happening. There's something that happens in that movie that just, somebody left the screening sobbing. I didn't even tell you that bit.
Right.
He was about 2 rows in front when when something happened. And I said to you, if you're going to watch it, don't Google her story.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know anything about it. And it just hits you like a ton of bricks. It's very, very well made film. I was concerned that it was going to, like I say, just slip into the kind of biopic stuff that you get to the end of it and you go, yeah, it was all right, and you kind of move on. I've come away. I want you to watch it. I've said to Lynn's definitely got to watch it when it comes through, and told her not to Google the Christy Martin story or anything like that. So it's really well done. It was a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll check it out at some point then. Very good. Let's see what everyone else watched, and we'll cast our judgment on them. Cranston Knights watched Home Alone 2.
Boo.
Begonia.
Hey.
Matthias and Maxine.
Don't know.
Rise of the Guardians 3D.
Never bothered with it.
The Three Musketeers 3D. Oh, Jesus Christ. Three Musketeers 3D. I went to see Hans Zimmer in Manchester. Nice. Three Musketeers 3D. That's the Mila Jovovich one, isn't it?
Ah,
I think yes. That, yeah. Darren G, I do want to see Begonia.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. AJ Pink watched Catch Me If You Can and saw Christie at this cinema and Blowout.
AJ, what did you think, Christie? I love Catch Me If You Can. That's a movie I can keep going back to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So well made. And I'm not a huge Tom Hanks fan, but he's very good in that. But DiCaprio is just amazing in it.
Stephen Connor, I purchased TV box set Shakespeare and Hathaway. Don't snigger. 1-4. Box set Blu-ray from Amazon.
Whatever floats your boat.
Morton watched The Purge 4 and 5, Pumpkinhead, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and started The Fog. That sounds a horror-heavy week.
Yeah, I'm hoping The Fog was the original and not that hideous remake with.
Oh yeah,
Tom Welling. Was Tom Welling in the remake?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And he did the Friday the 13th reboot as well, didn't he?
Who?
No, I'm thinking of someone else. Forget it.
Yeah.
Napang Films watched first 2 Die Hard films, Krampus, New Running Man.
Yeah.
Adam, we watched Muppets Family Christmas, Emmett Otter and Fraggle Christmas, old one, not new. Next up, Yogi and the Flintstones. There we go. I did watch some other movies, kind of half watched some other movies actually. Weekend. We've watched Home Alone's been on again. We've had The Christmas Chronicles on again. And we've had The Grinch on again. And today was the red one, the Rock. And
Chris Evans, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really pay much attention to any of them, which is why I've not covered them.
No.
Anyway, Wine's Movie Cupboard says, this week, watchers are The Woman in Red, Ferris Bueller, Cliffhanger, Batman Returns, and The Commitments.
Great week.
Yeah.
Solid week.
Cliffhanger was one I wanted to watch on the new screen.
I really wanted to say my favourite line from The Commitments then, but you don't like me swearing on here, so I won't.
Yeah. Adam, you guys going to try and watch War Between Land and the Sea? You get it before the US.
I don't know what that is, Adam.
I don't either.
No.
I was hoping you would.
We're huge film fans, we are. I don't know what that is. I'm really sorry.
War Between Land and Sea. Let's have a look. Oh, what is that?
Oh, I don't know. What?
Gemma Redgrave. BBC iPlayer, something on the BBC. When a fearsome and ancient species emerges from the ocean, dramatically revealing themselves to her humanity, an international crisis is triggered with the entire population at risk. Units step into action as the land and sea wage war. It looks like December 26 exclusively in the UK, coming to Disney Plus 2026 and the rest of the world. Oh dear, I might watch the trailer, but I just looking at the cast. I'm not sure it's one that I would be tempted to go into, but I'll give the trailer a look.
I'm going to say from the description it doesn't sound like my bag, but there's a few people saying it's a spin-off from Hi Ollie, by the way. It's a Doctor Who spin-off.
Right, that's why it looks like that.
Yeah. That's why it doesn't interest Phil or I. Doctor Who?
Cranston with the Three Musketeers, it was pretty terrible. My excuse is I bought it in a bundle of 3D movies from eBay, so I thought I'd best make use of it.
And now make sure you get rid of it.
Yeah.
Who was it that was going to see Christie? Sorry, that you skipped by and they said it was better than they thought it was going to be. AJ, sorry, there we go. Yeah, it was. It ended up being better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Jeremy says that just because they're English doesn't mean the Doctor Who fans is this racism. I don't think there's many Doctor Who fans over here anymore, to be fair.
Really? Wow. Next time we go to a convention, you're in for a shock. Think about it. I mean, can you remember when you did a signing at, was it York Racecourse?
Yes.
Well, we've done a couple, actually, where we've been sat next to Sylvester McCoy, haven't we?
Yeah.
And my God, that guy does not stop all day.
No.
It's a steady stream of people for him. Was Sylvester McCoy?
It was Sylvester McCoy, yeah.
On both occasions. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been the same though. When I've been doing signings with Jimmy as well, he's been busy for the Doctor Who characters. He did Banner Kanafa and some others. That's the only one I can remember. But he's been,
some others, yes.
Yeah, he's done 4 or 5 characters in Doctor Who, and gets asked a hell of a lot about the Christmas episode he did because he worked with Kylie. Kylie Minogue in it. And he gets a lot of people coming to him for that one. It's strange.
I'd love you to have carried that on, but really struggled and going, I think you played the TARDIS and K9 and
Well, he used to get a lot for that, but he gets a lot for obviously R2D2 now from when he works in those. So he's very popular because he's got his 2 big titles when he's doing signings. So a lot of people come up to him for those. Whereas the stuff that I've been in, if I'm sat at the signing, no one's particularly interested in.
Well, I think you've, when I've been with you, you've always done well off like Prometheus, haven't you? That seems to be the kind of go-to thing.
Yeah.
But you've not done one since Northman, have you?
Way before Northman.
Yeah, way before. Yeah.
The photos that I had printed, I've not had photos printed for... Not had any photos printed for Northman. Not had photos printed for like Wreck or the Dick Turpin one. And there's a project before Pentaveret. I've not had any photos printed from that either.
Yeah.
And that was...
Will you have... you might get things printed for that little thing next year.
I don't know. Potentially, but...
you never know. Yeah.
I've not got any particularly good photos. I've just got the ones where I got mistaken for another actor, but they were really rough paparazzi at a distance photos.
Yes. Well, we'll see what's in the teaser.
Yeah.
Whenever that is. At no point this month at the front of another movie that's coming out. That's quite a big movie in any way.
Jeremy says Phil needs women so he could autograph their testicles. Not sure that. Yeah. Have you got any viewing plan for next week, Glenn?
I think Jeremy Carr thinks anyone in England lives in a carry-on film, because that is not the case. Any plans for this week, did you ask?
Viewing for next week, yes.
I don't have any cinema bookings because I've got my tattoo on Tuesday. And I need to do a bit of Christmas shopping tomorrow, and then I'm at work the rest of the week. So, no. Going to try and watch a few bits at home, obviously, but no cinema visit.
Yeah. Have you got any thoughts on the... I got asked it earlier, and I was kind of skated around it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got any thoughts on the whole Warner Brothers Netflix thing? Are you fearful of what it's going to do to physical media? Really not at this point.
I've seen so many reports of people saying they actually don't think it will happen.
All right.
Because there's so much kind of pushback. Directors Guild of America are already pushing to say they think it's a terrible idea, and Nolan's obviously the head of that, and Nolan hates streaming services with a passion, which wasn't helped this week by that. What's the dude that's head of something or other for Netflix? Ted somebody or other?
Don't know.
And he said, people don't want to go to the cinema anymore. People are happy with watching things at home. Something like Oppenheimer, for example, would have done fine at home. It didn't need a cinema release. Stuff like that is going to get Nolan's back up even more. So, apparently they're already threatening to sue and take it further and all that kind of stuff. And most people think it's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
The only people that think it's a great idea seems to be Netflix. I think if they do it, they've got to honour cinema releases, theatrical releases, a large enough window before they get exclusivity to then play it on Netflix. I think they've got to be looking at kind of physical media release as well. I think that's what a lot of people are scared of.
I mentioned this earlier. I think they've probably still got to run both companies individually, because if they try and corner everything into streaming, they will lose a lot of investors that invest heavily in the Warner Brothers titles, because they want that back end from the deals from after it's had its theatrical run. They want that back end, and they can't risk losing that many investors because they can't shoulder all the cost of all these productions on their own backs. They don't earn enough to be producing that much stuff. So I don't think they can change a huge amount and risk losing the investors unless they are earning far, far more than we would ever know.
Yeah, I think if it does go ahead, I think the structure will probably be theatrical releases as normal, as a joint Warner Brothers Netflix release. It has a cinema run. It then goes exclusive to Netflix behind their paywall to increase their subscriber numbers, and then probably runs on Netflix as an exclusive for maybe 3 months, 6 months, something like that, and then possibly has a home release, a physical media release. They'll perhaps do it that way. So, if things are just in the cinema and then they just go to physical media, that doesn't benefit the actual Netflix subscriber streaming platform.
Yeah.
So they've got to, there's no point them going in for it otherwise. So I think it needs to kind of have that, like I say, cinema run, exclusive run on Netflix for a while before it's then, there'll be a constant steady stream of other stuff then coming in behind it. And then 3 to 6 months after it's been on Netflix, it will then get a release.
Yeah. Adam says Netflix will be the death of physical releases after the current SDS contract is finished. I think a lot of the deal as well can be.
I don't think it will be the death of physical media. I think there's too many freaking collector weirdos like you lot out there. They know they're gonna once it's exhausted its time on Netflix and done what they need it to do, which is building them subscriber numbers, they're going to cash in and they're going to kind of do a physical release, I think.
I mentioned earlier that I think part of the deal that was very important for Netflix, beyond all their IPs and things like that, is the facilities that Warner Brothers hold, all the sound stages, all the post-production facilities and things like that. That is more important to Netflix at the minute than their IPs and their brands and things like that. I think the facilities are very important because it's a struggle to find studio space in London now. I don't know if it's the same worldwide, but certainly in London, Warner Brothers holding Leavesden, and I think they have a big stake in another one as well. But it's a massive, massive studio, and if Netflix get the claws into that, that gives them opportunity to use that facility. And it's the same with the post-production things. So I think that fell into the deal a hell of a lot more than people are realizing as well. All those sort of assets.
Yeah. If they're smart, like I say, they just run Warner Brothers how Warner Brothers has been run.
Yeah.
But they slot themselves in that center section where they have exclusivity for their streaming service for a bit.
Absolutely. AJ says, I think people are overreacting.
Well, the thing is, people are reacting and they haven't got the first clue of what's going to actually happen. None of us have. Netflix do. And it's only going to be the few head honchos there that will kind of have a rough idea.
Yeah. Swap Professor says they won't release physical media because control of media is a selling point to keep the monthly payments.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They'll have those it'll build those subscriber numbers. Let's say this year, for example, it was already all in place. We'd go and see one battle after another at the cinema. We then want to watch it again. And the only way we can do that is subscribing to Netflix. After 3 to 6 months of it being on Netflix, they've had a steady stream of other Warner Brothers titles and their own Netflix own things and various other things coming onto the platform, still keeping people's interest. So at that point, yes, it's behind their paywall, and people will still probably choose to watch it that way because not everybody likes buying physical media. Some people are just happy streaming or digital or anything like that. So they've still got that there. But then I think they'd be foolish to not then do a physical media release to cash in and claw that bit more money out of doing it. Yeah. Granted, you've got the expenditure of actually producing the discs in the first place, but like I say, none of us know at this point. And the general gist seems to be it's not going to happen. There's going to be too much against it. But Netflix strike me as the kind of people that go, oh, you're not happy with it? Tough.
Yeah.
You know, if they've got 82.7 billion to spend on it, they're not really worried what you or I think, unfortunately.
True. Jeremy says, do we keep it or sell it? People demand answers. Physical media.
People demand answers.
I think it's a lot more detailed and nuanced than that, but if it's something you're going to use again and again, keep it. If you bypass it when you're trying to pick a movie or it's worth money and you want to buy something better, sell it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all replaceable, really.
It is.
With that, I'm going to cut us off now because I've been running for quite some time. I've run a little bit longer, but it's, I wanted to get your thoughts on a couple of things, but I'm going to read through the leaderboard and then I'm going to let you go. So, who is on the leaderboard? Oh, it's got a quite surprising number 1, if you don't know already.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. Start at number 10 for you then. Number 10, we've got Big Jace. Number 9, we've got Cranston Knight. Number 8, we've got Darren G. Number 7, Martin's movie covered. Martin's
covered.
Movie covered. Number
he's
6,
covered in his cupboard.
Yeah. Number 6, we've got Napang Films. I don't know where number 5 is. It's disappeared from my list.
We have. I'm number 5 on the leaderboard.
No.
Lit PBM 78. Who's that?
There we go. Anthony Lipiello.
Anthony? There we go.
Yeah. Anthony's number 5. Then number 4, we've got Woody. Number 3, we've got Morton's review something. I've forgot the rest of it.
Morton's movie reviews. Morton's reviews. Yeah.
There we go.
But can I take a guess at the top two? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to feel like 2 is Mr. Jeremy Carr.
Yeah.
And number 1 is AJ. A round of applause. There we go.
Well done.
Well done, AJ.
With that, I'm going to thank everyone for watching and sticking with me while Glenn wasn't here, but he joined us at the end. So, yeah, went out on a high, I think.
Hey,
we go out on a high?
Well,
I think so. Definitely.
High.
Right. With that, I hope you all have a nice weekend. Or week. The weekend's over. And I'll catch you all soon. Ta-ra.
Bye, everyone.
Well, I have a microphone and you don't.
So you will listen to every damn word I have